Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. We are commemorating International Day of Police Cooperation on 7th September with the theme Police Integrity, Accountability and Oversight. In commemorating the International Day of Police Cooperation, the United Nations Interagency Task Force on Policing highlights the importance of police integrity, accountability and oversight in strengthening the rule of law, ensuring human rights-based and effective policing, and enhancing public trust towards law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement institutions are entrusted with a diverse set of tasks requiring a high degree of integrity within police agencies, supported by effective oversight mechanisms while maintaining high standards of conduct and ensuring that they serve the communities in an effective and transparent way. The effectiveness of a reliability policing system depends upon the lawful exercise of its coercive powers, such as any use of force, arrest, or detention, and on the transparency and accountability of the mechanisms that rule its actions. For this reason, police integrity, accountability, and oversight are essential elements for maintaining public trust, preventing abuse of power, and ensuring justice for all. The importance of effective police internal and external oversight mechanisms to strengthen accountability and integrity go beyond merely addressing misconduct after police actions. Such mechanisms are part of a comprehensive approach that includes preventive measures, consistent and rigorous oversight, and robust and effective systems for reviewing and addressing police conduct. Performing police organizational practices with a well-structured accountability system involves mechanisms within the police agency, such as clear and transparent protocols for reporting and investigating misconduct, feedback, and opportunities to reflect on lessons learned, remedying improper police actions and omissions, as well as external supervision by independent and impartial institutions that ensure unbiased review, transparency, and public scrutiny. Police services in which integrity and accountability are core values in theory and practice ensure better policing, more effective investigations, reduction of human rights abuses, and a workforce that is proud to serve the community. Within the broad United Nations system, the Secretary General's zero tolerance policy underscores a firm commitment to upholding the highest ethical standards in law enforcement. This policy ensures that misconduct, corruption, and abuses of power within police forces are not tolerated, reinforcing the principles of transparency and responsibility by promoting a robust oversight mechanism to monitor police behavior and enforce accountability. This approach guarantees that law enforcement officials adhere to high standards of conduct. Such measures are essential for maintaining public trust and legitimacy of policing institutions. In line with Sustainable Development Goal 16, principles such as integrity and accountability guide the responsible use of force while preventing discrimination and ensuring that oversight mechanisms within law enforcement institutions operate in accordance with rule of law. These principles help to ensure that law enforcement officials' actions are proportionate, promote peace, and contribute to building inclusive institutions at all levels. Despite progress over the years, challenges in establishing effective police accountability mechanisms persist, leading to impunity of unlawful or disproportionate use of force, bribery, and corruption, which continue to compromise public trust and hinder the effectiveness of law enforcement. The United Nations promotes and supports member states in the implementation of UN standards and norms such as United Nations Code of Conduct for law enforcement officials and the basic principles on the use of force and firearms, which highlights the need for transparency, accountability, and the respect for human rights in policy. The standards provide a normative foundation for developing effective accountability systems and ensuring that police actions are in accordance with international human rights institutes. The Global Operational Network of Anti-Corruption Law Enforcement Authorities, the GLOBE network, facilitates informal cooperation between anti-corruption law enforcement authorities on transnational corruption cases. Many members are police entities with a mandate to combat transnational corruption. Integrity and accountability of police engaging in direct practitioner to practitioner cross-border work is of cardinal importance. The network has adopted guidelines for the exchange of information between GLOBE members and is developing a community of practitioners with shared principles of information cooperation. These principles are grounded in integrity and accountability, adherence to national laws, and integral standards of conduct. On this International Day of Police Cooperation, the United Nations calls for a renewed commitment to strengthening police integrity, accountability, and oversight. A sustained long-term effort is essential to establish a comprehensive framework for police oversight and accountability, reinforcing integrity within policing systems. The United Nations Interagency Task Force on Policing reaffirms its commitment to ensuring that law enforcement practices operate within the highest standards of integrity and accountability. This involves not only strong oversight mechanisms, but also fostering a culture where transparency and integrity are key in United UN initiatives aimed at enhancing public trust and ensuring that policing effectively serves and protects the community it serves. Today is also commemorated as World Dutch Knee Awareness Day on 7th September. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, or in short known as DMD, is a rare progressive disorder. People with DMD are missing muscle protecting protein. This is due to fault in the gene producing dystrophin muscles to become weaker over time until it affects the whole body. It is caused by a mutation of the X chromosome. That is why mainly males are affected. First, walking becomes difficult, then other motor functions follow, and ultimately it affects the ability to breathe as well as function to the heart of the heart, as the heart is a muscle too. The missing protein also has a function in the brain, so learning and behavior issues can also be part of the disease. In most countries, the average age of diagnosis of DMD is above 4 years of age and diagnostic delay around 2.5 years. Parents see symptoms much earlier, and some symptoms are already visible when the children are very young. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is named after Dr. Duchenne de Bourgogne, who was one of the first to report the disease in detail in 1860s. This year, World's Duchenne Awareness Day theme emphasizes the importance of amplifying voices to advocate for the rights, inclusion, and well being of the people living with DMD and other dystrophinopathies. We invite everyone, irrespective of their personal connection to Duchenne, to join in creating more inclusive world where people living with disabilities are empowered to thrive. Raise your voice for Duchenne is the theme of this year. Recognizing that Duchenne muscular dystrophy is one of the most common pediatric genetic rare disease, the General Assembly decided to designate 7th September, the current World Duchenne Awareness Day, as United Nations Day to be observed every year beginning in 2024. The Assembly encouraged stakeholders to actively raise awareness on the specific challenges and needs faced by the individuals and families in the rare diseases community through national campaigns, educational programs, and information dissemination, with the goal of fostering greater understanding and empathy towards those affected by rare diseases and prompting global solidarity. Today is also commemorated as International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies on 7th September every year. Invest in clean air now. Air pollution is the biggest environmental health risk of our time. It also exacerbates climate change, causes economic losses, and reduces agricultural productivity. It knows no borders. Everyone has a responsibility to protect our atmosphere and ensure healthy air for all. By collaborating across borders, sectors, and silos, we can reduce air pollution through collective investments of time and resources and efforts. This International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies, we call upon everyone from governments and corporates to civil society and individuals to invest in clean air now. By tackling air pollution proactively, we can achieve transformative change and secure a healthy air for all. It is a twofold problem as it impacts health as well as climate. So, health impact: tiny invisible particles and pollution penetrate deep into our lungs, bloodstream, and bodies. These pollutants are responsible for about 1/3 of the deaths from stroke, chronic respiratory disease, and lung cancer, as well as 1/4 of the deaths from heart attack. Ground level ozone produced from the interaction of many different pollutants in sunlight is also a cause of asthma and chronic respiratory illness. Climate impact, short-lived climate pollutants, SLCPs, are among those pollutants most linked with global health effects and near-term warming of the planet. They persist in the atmosphere for as little as few days or up to few decades, or reducing them can have an almost immediate health and climate benefits for those living in places where levels fall. Air pollution is in the single greatest environment risk is to human health and is one of the main avoidable causes of death and disease globally, with some estimated 6.5 million premature deaths across the world attributed to indoor and outdoor pollution, particularly in developing countries. Air pollution disproportionately affects women, children, and elderly, especially in the low income populations, as they are often exposed to high levels of ambient air pollution and indoor air pollution from cooking and heating with wood fuel and kerosene. Air pollution is a global problem with far reaching impacts owing to its transport over long distance. In the absence of aggressive intervention, the number of premature deaths resulting from ambient air pollution is estimated to be on track to increase by more than 50% by 2050. Society bears a high cost of air pollution due to negative impacts of the economy, work productivity, health costs, and tourism, among others. Hence, the economic benefits of investing in air pollution control cannot be overstated or overestimated. And if it must be understood that there is also an economic rationale to act that cost effective solutions exist to address air pollution. Poor air quality is a challenge in the context of sustainable development for all countries, in particular in cities and urban areas in developing countries, with levels of air pollution that are higher than the limit set out in the World Health Organization air quality guidelines. Some air pollutants such as black carbon, methane, and ground level ozone are also short-lived climate pollutants and are responsible for significant portion of air pollution related deaths, as we all as well as impacts on crops and hence food security. So their reduction has cost benefits for the climate. United Nations member states recognize the need to sustainably reduce the number of deaths and illness from hazardous chemicals and air, water, and soil pollution and contamination by 2030, as well as to reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of societies, including paying special attention to air quality and municipal and other waste management by 2030. Clean air is important for the health and day-to-day lives of people, while air pollution is the single greatest environmental risk to human health and one of the main avoidable causes of death and disease globally. Air pollution disproportionately affects women, children, and older persons and also has a negative impact on ecosystems. Today, the international community acknowledges that improving air quality can enhance climate change mitigation and that also Today, the international community acknowledges that improving air quality can enhance climate change mitigation and that climate change mitigation efforts can improve air quality. Encouraged by increasing interest of the international community in clean air and emphasizing the need to make further efforts to improve air quality, including reducing air pollution to protect human health, the General Assembly decided to designate 7 September as the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies. So, in the outcome document of the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development entitled The Future We Want, countries committed to promoting sustainable development policies that support healthy air quality in the context of sustainable cities and human settlements. Also, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which outlines a roadmap to achieving sustainable development, environmental protection, and prosperity for all recognizes that air pollution abatement is important to the attainment of the sustainable development goals. Today is also commemorated as Buy a Book Day, which takes place on September 7th each year. This day is celebrated to raise awareness about the dying book buying and book reading culture. US adult population that reads books has declined 7% over past decade. Buying books and reading them have been declining habit among millennials and Gen Zs. This is exactly why Buy a Book Day aims to remedy. In today's digital age, where TVs, movies, and internet have taken over our lives, the art of book reading and the very act of buying it is declining dramatically. Although TV series and movies are interesting, reading books is a whole different kind of experience. Most people think books are boring and at no level a match to modern series and superhero movies. But in reality, there are millions of books out there. They are just well written, thought provoking, and can take you to a whole new world. This is what most people fail to understand. However, it is said how the old fashioned art of reading a book is slowly fading away just because of a misconception. Books are the ocean of knowledge, the knowledge that has passed on by ancestors to us. We use these books to discover new knowledge that we can pass on to the future generation. Today is also commemorated as Brazil Independence Day on September 7th. Today is also commemorated as Fluidra International Pool Pro Day, which takes place annually on September 7th. The swimming pool industry is filled with many talented and hardworking individuals. Pool pros are special, so we want to honor and celebrate them on this day. Pool industry professionals are often unrecognized for their work, yet they exemplify all that is great about swimming and spa experience. Today is also commemorated as Google Commemoration Day. In US, Google is search engine created as a research project at Stanford University to locate files on the internet. With what differentiates Google from its competitors and keeps it in the pole position among search engines is its page ranking system. This system sorts results according to relevance and helps people find answers to virtually everything. Despite its reputation as a premium search engine, Google offers several services such as Google Maps to make life much easier. In fact, Google also provides with several scholarships to support funds towards education. Today is also commemorated as Grandma Moses Day. On September 7th, each year celebrates the talented artist Anna Mary Robertson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses, born on the same day in 1860. The observance pays homage to an artist who remains an inspiration to people starting careers late in life. Despite her advanced age, she defied the odds and set out to become one of the most celebrated artists of her time. Today is also commemorated as Indigenous Literacy Day in Australia. This yearly initiative by Australians Indigenous Literacy Foundation. Through literacy programs, the organization seeks to improve the lives and possibilities of Indigenous Australians. Not just any literacy program, but one that puts the knowledge and wisdom of the indigenous people first, Australia's first. There is also commemorated as National Acorn Squash Day in US. Acorn squash is also known as pepper squash or Des Moines squash and it is a water squash that is occasionally considered a summer squash belonging to some species as zucchinis and crookneck squash. Its vibrant color and sweet taste makes for an appealing carb option, and it's not only delicious but also packed with nutrients. Today is also commemorated as National Feel the Love Day in US. It doesn't matter what kind of love you are celebrating. It could be your family, friends, pets, or romantic partner. National Feel the Love Day is about spreading the joys of love as wide as you can. This is a day reminder of all how all kinds of love makes our lives richer. Love makes us unhappy, secure, and feel understood. This is the way to count your blessings and cherish the people who bring you so much joy. Today is also commemorated as National Hummingbird Day in US, which is celebrated on the first Saturday in September every year. This year it falls on September 7th. Use this opportunity to educate yourself and others on how to care for and support these amazing creatures, while also partaking in a variety of activities focused on them. Some communities celebrate this day with activities that include educational programs, hummingbird viewings, and field trips. Hummingbirds share the raising of the chicks, and males live a lot shorter because they use so much energy in defending their nests. They use a lot of energy in flying and need to rest every 15 minutes. So we must make our garden hummingbird friendly. Hummingbirds are those small, colorful birds distinguished by their ability to hover midair, rapidly flapping their wings, which produces the humming sound that are characteristically known for. They are attracted to flowering plants, especially deep throated flowers, and feed on the nectar for survival. Their reliance on nectar has helped the development of new hummingbird species influenced by the changes in the flowers. The number of species is still growing, but about 360 species of hummingbirds currently exist. Even with their aggressive nature, as many as 225. There is also commemorated as National Neither Snow Nor Rain Day in US, as it's a special day for us to say a little thank you to our postal service workers. They have been of service to us for decades and through those years have been steadfast in delivering our parcels. The seemingly strange name for the day comes from the unofficial motto of the United States Postal Service: neither snow nor rain, nor heat nor gloom of night. These couriers from the swift completion of their appointment rounds. Today is also commemorated as Superhuman Day, which takes place on September 7th every year. This day honors people with disabilities who faced and overcome challenges, disgrace, and dishonor they experience. Everybody is likely to experience some kind of disability at some point of time. That is why this Superhuman Day was first celebrated in 2016. A media company, Channel 4, came up with an extraordinary idea to highlight the extraordinary athletes at the Summer Paralympic Games. During the Paralympic Games, although Paralympics started in 1948, people did not give it much attention as they do the Olympics. So, to change this mindset, Channel 4 started an ad campaign called We Are Superhuman. Today is also commemorated as Texas Energy Savings Day in US, celebrated on September 7th. The majority of Texans are overpaying for their electricity and wind, and with so many complicated plans and bills, many Texans don't even. Many Texans don't even realize it. By stating on the top of their energy contracts and learning how to better understand these bills, Texans have the opportunity to reduce their electricity bills somewhat. The majority of Texas are overpaying for their electricity with so many complicated plans and bills have teens don't even initiate by starting on top of the website. The main reason is that the order for the power of the market to result in the most competitive rates. People need to constantly shop for the best plans. Otherwise, their contracts expire. Once a contract expires, you are automatically placed on a month-to-month plan where providers can change your electricity rate each month. Surprised these rates are unusually much higher than the contract rates. Many people don't even realize that they are being charged higher than the market average, sometimes more than the double the market average. There is also commemorated as Turkey Vulture Day in US on September 7th as an ecological observance aimed at raising awareness. The celebration recognizes the importance of vultures in unique species of birds in our ecosystem. As an ecological observance aimed at raising awareness, the celebration recognizes the importance of vultures, a unique special species of birds in our ecosystem. These birds are constantly living under challenging conditions and they face many threats. Beside the negative image that vultures have garnered, scavengers, they are ecologically vital. Vultures are harmless to humans. Despite the negative image they have, vultures are almost harmless to humans. Because of the role they play, vultures are extremely efficient at removing waste and dead animals. As of today, the global vulture population is dwindling despite the importance it poses. Vultures cannot make sounds and mostly grunt or hiss. Unlike other birds, vultures are independent and there is also commemorated as World Bird Day to celebrate the ultimate symbol of ruggedness on World Bird Day. On the first Saturday in September, things are changing, but the bird has been more than just a fashion statement. It has been considered a sign of manliness, prehistoric times. The bird represents virtues as strength, wisdom, and even social status in some cultures. There is something about the bird that demands admiration and respect, thus deserves a day of celebration. Finally, the last commemoration of the day. Today, we are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi, Vigna Nivaraka Chaturthi, or Visvakshena Jayanti. It is a 10-day festival held to honor the Hindu god of intelligence, wisdom, and knowledge, Lord Ganesha. The day usually falls in the Gregorian months of August or September and is observed with prayer, public, and private display of Ganesh idols. The chanting of Vedic hymns and fasting on the final day of the festival and on the idol of Ganesha is carried in public procession and plunged into a nearby body of water. When the clay dissolves, it is believed Ganesha returns to Shiva. Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated across the world and in India especially, as well as Hindu diaspora across countries like Nepal and so on. The birth of Lord Ganesha has two legends associated with it. The first is that he was born while the goddess Parvati was taking her bath. Ganesha, a child at the home, was asked by Shiva to guard the door while his partner Parvati finished her bath. When Shiva returned her, Ganesh denied him access to his home, encouraging Shiva and causing him to chop off Ganesha's head. Distressed and heartbroken by this incident, Parvati, goddess Parvati, demanded that a new head to be found for Ganesha. All that was managed to be found was an elephant head, which was then placed on the body of Ganesha. The second version is less popular, telling that Ganesha was a conscious creation of Shiva and Parvati upon command from greater heavenly entities. Ganesha's purpose was to block the path of demonic entities. It is widely believed that Ganesh Chaturthi was celebrated for the since ages, including the Shatavahana, Rashtrakuta, and Chalukya dynasties ruled between 271 BC and 1190 AD. The founder of the Maratha Empire, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, celebrates Ganesh Chaturthi zealously in 1600s. Freedom fighter Bal Gangadhar Tilak arranges a grand public celebration of Ganesh Chaturthi to unite Indians against the British. In 1890, the Kambi family in Mumbai design and create the Ganpati idols since 1935. Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated annually to mark the birth of Lord Ganesha and the god of new beginnings and a fresh start. It starts this year on September 7th and concludes on September 17th, 2024. The elephant headed god Ganesh was born human but was decapitated by Lord Shiva. He was then regenerated with a new head by the goddess Parvati, giving rebirth to Ganesh. For Lord Ganesh arrival, you want your home to have a positive energy to maximize on his blessings. Clean your house thoroughly, decorate it, and create an aura of good energy. Get an idol of Ganesha and have it placed in your home before the festivities begin. These idols are worshipped and later immersed in water. Seek the pleasure of Lord Ganesh during the festival days, worship him with great devotion, and host prayer services at your home and communities. The first celebration of the festival on record dates back to era of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaja and beyond in a grand manner. Lord Ganesha is worshipped in China, Cambodia, Thailand, Nepal, and China, and also across the world by Hindu diaspora and the Indian diaspora. Lord Ganesha is printed on Indonesia 20,000 rupees note on currency. The deity Kangi then is worshipped in China, which is a figure with two elephant heads. It is considered unlucky to sight the moon during the festival of Ganesh Chaturthi. Ganesh Chaturthi celebrates the Hindu god Ganesh welcoming his arrival and hosting grand celebration for 10 days. Ganesh Chaturthi is all about seeking blessings from Lord Ganesh, taking inventory of all the good and bad things in our lifestyle, and creating a balance for the next year. The event signifies new beginnings, so abundance in wealth, health, and prosperities are sought, giving us hope and a positive approach. Ganesh Chaturthi is celebrated in Hindu communities throughout the world. During the festival, there is a feeling of unity among Hindus who feel closer to their home and country by practicing faith and participating in grand festivities. Today, we are also commemorating one more commemoration, which was celebrated on International Day of Charity with the theme Global Solidarity to Eradicate Poverty on September 5th, which was celebrated. So, charity, like the notions of volunteerism and philanthropy, provides real social bonding and contributes to the creation of inclusive and more resilient societies. Charity can elevate the worst effects of humanitarian crisis, supplement public services in healthcare, education, housing, and child protection. It assists the advancement of culture, science, sports, and the protection of cultural and natural heritage. It also promotes the rights of the marginalized and underprivileged and spreads the message of humanity in conflict situations. In 2030 Agenda on Sustainable Development adopted in September 2015, the United Nations recognizes that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. The agenda also calls for a spirit of strengthening global solidarity, focus in particular on the needs of poorest and most vulnerable. It also acknowledges the role of diverse private sector ranging from micro enterprises to cooperatives to multinationals and that of civil society organizations and the philanthropic organizations in the implementation of the new agenda. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals set forth in the agenda can be grouped into 6 critical areas: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. They all have the potential to transform our lives and planet by providing the framework needed for the philanthropic institutions to enable all people to contribute to the betterment of our world. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we wish you a happy Ganesh Chaturthi and Vinayak Chaturthi and obstacle removing day. And we wish and pray that all our obstacles are removed with the blessings of Lord Sri Ganesha and Lord Sri Viswakshena. Thank you everyone. Take care. Good night. Before you leave the platform, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. So thank you everyone. Once again, take care. Good night.